Are you guys excited to see a show? Yeah? All right, good. And this show is a very, very special show. And it's a fun show, but there's a reason why we do it, and it's very, very important. That's why you guys are here. The reason why we do this show is because in Florida, where we all live in Florida, right, we have a big problem out there, okay? We have a big problem. And the problem is people are going outside and they're finding stuff going through their backyards that's not supposed to be there, right? They don't want that stuff there, right? Because it's supposed to be in South America or Asia or Africa or Australia, someplace cool like that. And then they're finding all these crazy animals just kind of hanging out on their porch. And the reason why that's happening is because a lot of kids nowadays like to go to pet stores and they like to buy all these crazy cool pets, right? All these exotic animals. If you go in the pet store, it's all exotic, okay? Which means it comes from some other place, like the snakes, the frogs, the turtles, the birds, the fish. They come from all over the world. And people want to buy them and take them home. But when they do that, they don't know a lot about these animals before they buy them. That's where you get in trouble. And there's 3 very important questions you should know about every animal before you buy it. Doesn't matter what it is. And those are 3 questions that we have to learn during the show, okay? It's only 3, so it's not hard. But number 1, okay, before you buy a pet, doesn't matter what it is, number 1, you want to know how big is this thing going to get, right? Because some of these things will get very, very big, okay? And they're cute when they're puppies and they grow up, right? And number 2, you want to know how old is this thing going to get? How long will it live? Again, these things will live forever, all right? And if you buy it now, you have to take it to college with you because mom is not going to take care of it either, trust me. Okay? And number 3, you want to know, what does this thing have to eat before I bring it home, right? Because then you think, I've got a really awesome pet, and then you find out later on you have to feed it something really, really gross, and you don't like that kind of stuff, right? And now you're stuck with an animal that you don't want anymore, right? And that's what's happening in Florida. So what I've done with me is I brought with me in these boxes and these bags all kinds of stuff you can find in pet stores and places like that. And I want to take them out and show them to you. That's right, what is this? It's a tarantula, that's right. This is a very, very big spider. It's the same thing. Right now, a tarantula, this is a Chilean rose-haired tarantula. He comes from South America, down around Chile, okay? And like every spider in the entire world, all spiders, okay? Every one of them, this spider is venomous. He has fangs and he has venom, okay? But his venom is not very strong. It's like being stung by a bee. You guys have been stung by bees, I imagine, before, right? At some point. No. Oh my goodness. You guys should go outside more. So what is this? It's a scorpion. That's right. It's a scorpion. This is a giant emperor scorpion. Okay, giant. Giant, all right? These are the largest scorpions in the world, okay? And just like the spider, he's venomous. His stinger's back there on his tail. It's like a bee stinger back there, right? His venom is back there. But again, his venom is not very strong. I've been stung a lot by these scorpions. It actually really doesn't even hurt, I'll be honest, because there's a reason why. There's a rule out there about scorpions that's very, very important to know, okay? Scorpions have rules too. The rule says the bigger their claws are, the less dangerous they are. So the bigger their claws are, the less dangerous they are. And he has the biggest claws of any scorpion in the world, right? See how big those are? Those are big things, right? So that means he's not very dangerous. This is a lizard. It is he's called a bearded dragon. A bearded dragon. He comes from Australia. He comes from down under, right? Very, very cool lizards. Very, very cool. There's a lot of lizards out there for pets. Iguanas, geckos, right? We've seen them all. Bearded dragon. Very, very good pet. Very, very good. Okay, why? This is about as big as they get. Okay? They're very, very calm. I've never heard of one biting anybody ever. Okay? They eat bugs, but also they eat stuff in your refrigerator. They'll eat lettuce, they'll eat carrots, they'll eat strawberries, blueberries, all that kind of cool stuff you can feed them, which is pretty nice, right? You can throw them a salad, which is pretty cool, right? See what he is? Isn't that cute? Look at that guy. So what is this? It's an alligator. It's a baby alligator. Very, very good. Now, baby alligators, when they're born, they're not called baby alligator. Okay, that's not his name. His name is Richard. No, his name is called a grunt. They're called grunts because when they're born, they make a noise. It's like a barking noise, and then they're called to mommy. Mommy alligator lays eggs. Alligators lay eggs. She lay like 40 eggs in a nest. 40 eggs. When she lays those eggs, she sits right next to that nest. Why? A lot of things like to eat eggs, right? Like snakes and raccoons and Nile monitors. So that means mommy alligator does not eat. Because if she leaves to go eat, something's going to eat those babies, and she doesn't want that, right? So she'll sit right by that nest for 2 months. 2 months, 65 days. Mommy alligator does not eat. That is a long time, right? A long time. All right, now this alligator's name is Willie. You guys say hello to Willie. Hi, guys, good to see you guys. What's up? Here's Willie. Now, alligators in Florida. We got a lot of them. We got about 2 million alligators in Florida. 2 million alligators are in Florida. That's a lot. So you're going to see them around, right? We probably already have. And there's a lot of stories about them. You've heard them on TV or other places, right? There's a lot of stories, you know, about how fast they are, right? How they can run down the freeway at 60 miles an hour and you have to run zigzag to get away from them, right? You heard that before? Heard that one? Or they can shoot you with laser beams that shoot out of their eyes. Heard that before too. If you're lucky, if an alligator's chasing you, all you have to do is, just grab him and you roll him over on his back and rub his belly and he goes right to sleep, right? Then no, exactly. Thank you. Yes, no. Please don't do that. Why somebody wanted to try them in the first place, I have no idea. No, don't ever do that. No. All those things are just stories. They're not true. They're not true. Okay? I want to tell you guys the truth. Okay? The truth about alligators. You ready? Here it comes. Alligators do not like people. Right? I just blew your minds, right? They do not like people. Why? Because we use alligators for wallets and shoes and purses, and they know this. They know. Okay? They know. They've been around for a very, very long time, and they know what people do to them. So if you see an alligator in the wild, he's going to hide from you. The first thing he'll do is just go right underwater. Willie, he can hold his breath for 2 hours. 2 hours. He will hold his breath and wait for you to leave. He does not want to see you at all. Now, here's our boa constrictor, okay? You guys are absolutely right. It's not a python, it's a boa constrictor. It's getting really hot in here all of a sudden. There we go. Anyway, here's our boa constrictor, right? Now, snakes. Snakes are very, very popular pets. There's a lot of them out there, right? Boa constrictors, rat snakes. There's a lot of things. Every one of them are good. This guy is a good one. Okay, they're big, but they're not too big. They eat rats like every snake in the entire world. They're pretty cool snakes. There's a snake, though, very, very bad. Very bad to have. It's called the Burmese Python. Have you guys heard of that? He lives in Brazil. Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. Here we go. He lives here in Florida now, okay? All right, the Burmese Python, why? Because somebody bought them a long time ago and they didn't know how big they would get and they turned them loose. The Burmese Python can be around 18 feet long. 18 feet long. That's big. Okay, that is very, very big. And what happened was, back in the 90s, you could buy them in pet stores. People did. They didn't know how big they would get, and they turned them loose. All right? The Burmese Python is now in South Florida eating everything. We have thousands of Burmese Pythons in Florida now. Why? Because they come from Asia, where the weather's very hot, and there's a lot of water, okay, just like Florida, and they started having babies. In fact, we caught one, and somebody's just crossing the street. It was just crossing the street. About 2 months ago, it was 17 feet long. And when they cut her open, she had 87 eggs inside of her that she would have hatched out. That's why there's so many down here now, okay? Because somebody bought them and turned them loose, all right? Those Burmese Pythons are actually eating alligators. They can actually eat alligators. That's how big they are, okay? So before you buy something, no matter what it is, snake, lizard, doesn't matter what it is, always know how big it gets, right? How old it gets and what you have to feed it before you bring it home. And never, ever, ever turn anything loose, right? All right, so you guys can do that for me, then hopefully one day we won't have a big problem with all this crazy stuff running around people's yards, all right? So thank you guys very much. That's the end of the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it.